Hello, Senara fans. It's Penny at Senara Health and Spa in Peoria, Illinois. I am the CEO and founder of this glorious place we all love so much. Today, I wanted to tell you a little bit about some cool sculpting things. First, I want to tell you about a special that we have going on until the end of August. So through the month of August, it's buy 3 cycles, get 1 free. Bam! Gotta love that, don't ya? So that's up to an $800 value that you will get free if you buy 3 cycles. So if you've been thinking about doing an area or maybe holding off on doing some, now's the time to do it. It's summer, we're all going to the pool, hanging out with our kids, and maybe feeling not the best about all of our little bodies. The other thing I wanted to do today was just give you a 411 or a little information about CoolSculpting, the areas that we treat, and all the different types of adapters we have for the different areas. One of the things I love so much about CoolSculpting is that it can treat so many different parts of our body. A lot of the other technologies out there maybe only treat like abdomen and buttocks and things like that. They don't treat as many locations as CoolSculpting does. So CoolSculpting, the most popular place we treat is obviously our abdominals, right? Because everybody seems to look at that the most in the mirror. So we actually have 2 adapters that we use for the abdominal area. We have a larger adapter, which is here on the shelf, but the most likely one that we use the most is this one. It is our Cool Advantage, and we call it the purple adapter. I don't know why, it's just easier to remember that. And there's a lot of different pieces and parts that go on this adapter depending on where we're going to use it on the body. So it's not only just for abdominals, but we also use it for your flanks, your love handles. We use it for your back fat as well. And this is also one of our inner thigh areas that adapters that we use for the inner thigh. Goodness gracious, can't talk this morning. So it's kind of like a swatch watch. I think of it that way because you can change the adapter depending on what area you're treating. So one of the things you want to make sure is that you're finding somebody who's really treated a lot of people with CoolSculpting, because there are so many different things and treatment options out there. We at Senara have done over 2,000 treatments, so we are the top clinic in Central Illinois. Okay, so these are like this one we would use on your flanks. This one we might use on your abdominals, and then there is a flat piece like this that we use on the inner thighs. So this is the purple or the Cool Advantage, okay? And basically when it turns on, it's like a vacuum. It's gonna pull your tissue into this. So as you can see, if we have this one on for your flanks, it's gonna suck your tissue, or your fat, as we like to say, into this lovely applicator, and then we turn it on, and it gets cold and kind of feels like you're icing for about 35 minutes. This applicator takes 35 minutes. The other applicator we use mostly on the abdominal area is our larger applicator, and this is the Cool Advantage Plus. This is the largest applicator in CoolSculpting, and this is used for maybe people that have a little bit more debulking to do in their abdominal area. We have done this on the flanks, mostly on men who are just bigger people altogether, and sometimes on the back as well. But so this is the applicator we would use for the abdominal area. There are 2 parts to your abdominals. There's your upper abs, which are above your belly button, and your lower abs, which are below your belly button. So you can imagine we can either do like 1, 2, and there goes my button, 3, 4, or we can just do 1 on the lower ab, 1 on the upper ab. So it depends on each person how we're going to treat you and which applicator we're going to select. And that's really important too, that you get a customized plan for you when you come in. All right, moving on to our Petite. This is the newest applicator from CoolSculpting. I'm just gonna snap up my dress here because that's the thing to do. The Petite was initially introduced to treat the arms. So for the longest time, we've been doing CoolSculpting almost 4 years, and we didn't have an applicator that treated the arms. So we would use the Cool Advantage, which was the purple one, and we would treat people's arms with that, but it wasn't designed specifically for the arms. So the Cool Petite came along. This is what we use on 90% of our arm treatments. Sometimes if they have longer arms, we still will use the Cool Advantage. I use this also on inner thighs for people. I use it for what I like to call the bra poof, this little poof that sticks out over your bra right here that people start to get, I don't know, I think over the age of 40 I started noticing mine. And then also this little bra poof that sticks over the top of your bra. So those are great places you can use the Petite as well. And then also I did my upper abs with this Petite because I didn't have enough to use the Cool Advantage. So I used the Petite for my upper abs. So that just gives you an idea of the different ways we use this Petite one. It's been really nice. People love it for the arms. It's been so good for that. Okay, outer thighs. So the outer thigh piece is the only CoolSculpting adapter that doesn't suction. So it doesn't have any suction to it. It is a flat paneled piece like this, okay? So what we look for in the outer thighs is that defined bump that people have. Generally, it's a hereditary bump. And then we kind of use this as our template to kind of figure out where the adapter might go on the person. So if you have a bump here, or maybe it's down here, the great thing about this outer thigh piece is I've used it all over the legs in different places that people might have unequaled amount of fat distribution. I've also used it on somebody's abs before. If you've had a hernia surgery, you are not eligible for one of the other applicators, but you can use the flat applicator on your abdominal area, so we have used it there. So this is the flat panel. The outer thighs take 75 minutes. It's the longest treatment that we have. Just because this piece doesn't suction, it takes longer to get to the cold temperature that it needs to kill your fat cells. So that's one of the things about the outer thigh piece. Kind of cool though. And then lastly is our Cool Mini. This was introduced a few years ago to treat under the chin. A lot of people have a hereditary disposition to have under the chin fat. I luckily did not inherit that from anyone in my family. I have lots of other wonderful areas of fat I inherited. So this would fit under your chin here. So depending on how much tissue a person has, sometimes we'll do 1 and 2, or sometimes we'll centrally locate it right here. The mini is really, the results are great for under the chin. We mix that with a little Kybella from time to time, and the people are just so happy, because if you've ever had a double chin, you know how you hate seeing yourself in pictures. And even my daughter, who's 16, has inherited that from her father's side of the family. So even she at some point will probably be sitting in this chair getting her CoolSculpting done under her chin. The other place we use this for is that bra fat area. I've done it on the inside of my knees before, in this little puffy part that hangs out right here. I have used the mini on that. So there's the little places that we can find to use it as well. You just have to have somebody who's been doing treatments for a while, because they're going to know which applicator to use and where to use it. So just to recap for you from the top down, we talked about the mini for under the chin, right? The Petite for the arms and all the little bra poofs, as I like to call them. We have the Cool Advantage, which is the purple. We use that in abdominals, we use it in flanks, we use it on inner thighs. We have the outer thigh piece, right? And then lastly, we have the larger applicator that we use primarily for abdominals. So, like I said, treatments can last anywhere from 35 minutes to up to 75 minutes for that outer thigh piece. We do have 2 machines at Senara, so we do like to hook people up. Maybe we'll do an inner thigh and an abdominal at the same time, so we're saving the amount of time that you're here with us in the office. And we have a really beautiful suite back here that you get to hang out in. You can watch TV, you have your own bathroom, we bring you snacks, and we get to know you, which is really nice. I've met some wonderful people by treating them with CoolSculpting and made some pretty nice friends, actually. So, like I said before, CoolSculpting's on sale. Buy 3, get 1 free till the month of August. The consultations are always free. A couple things to keep in mind: if you're more than 40 pounds over your goal weight, CoolSculpting's probably not for you. If you have visceral fat, which is that hard kind of, almost like, you know, the beer belly fat that's really hard, we cannot CoolSculpt that, so that you're not a candidate if you have visceral fat. And then there are some medical reasons that might make you not a candidate. So that's why coming in for a consultation is so important. Plus, we want to be able to take a look at you, think about all the different adapters and options, and get our swatch watch ready to go, and kind of come up with a plan that's customizable for you specifically. And then once you're treated, you know, once we apply the applicators, it's just a kind of a cooling sensation, almost like you're icing the area, and then it goes numb, so there's really no discomfort during treatment. And then afterwards, 60 to 90 days, you can expect to see the change in your body, and then we bring you back at 90 days for follow-up and just to talk about if there's any other areas that you want to continue to treat. So CoolSculpting is easy, there's no downtime. It's painless, and it's kind of addicting, because once you start treating some areas, you want to do it all. So I guess there are worse things to be addicted to than CoolSculpting. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at Senara, and I know on our website we have tons of before and afters. I have my before and afters here at the office, so if you come in and you want to see mine specifically, you can certainly ask. And there are 3 providers that do CoolSculpting in our office, so we're here almost every day of the week except Sundays. So if there's anything that you need, feel free to give us a call, 693-9600. Look us up online, and we'd love to talk to you a little bit about how CoolSculpting can make you feel better and look better too. Signing off from Senara, it's Penny.